Why Natchitoches? Throwbacks and good vibes all day, every day. We are 95.9 The Bounce. Natchitoches' home for urban vibes. And now, you're listening to Talk Back Natchitoches with Pastor Steve Harris.
Good morning and welcome to Talk Back Natchitoches. Yours truly, Pastor Stephen Harris. And listen, I want you to call everybody, Lottie, Dottie, and everybody, share, like, and invite because we have a segment that's very important to me because if you do the crime, you ought to pay the time. And we have a mother here that we want to get justice for Devin Prudhomme. And we're going to pray and let the Lord have his way. Lord God, how we thank you, praise you, glorify, magnify, and lift you up. For this is the day that you've made, and we're going to rejoice and be exceedingly glad in it. Gracious Father, we pray right now for all of those who are under the sound of my voice, whatever their situation may be. Lord, let them know that you're able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. O gracious Father, that you are Jehovah Rapha. You are our great physician. You are Jehovah Salom. You are our peace. You are Jehovah Jireh. You provide for us. Lord, you are our everything. When they ask, who shall I say sent me? Moses did. You told him to tell him I am sent me. El Kekekai. I thank you for being the great I am. And Lord, you've been everything that I needed, whatever I needed. Water in dry places, shelter from storms. You've been all of that and more. And because of that, Lord, we say thank you. Lord, we ask that you would bless this segment, that it may be informative, inspiring, and impactful. We ask all of these blessings in the mighty and matchless name, that name that's above every name, Jesus the Christ. And at that name, every knee shall bow and every tongue confess that you are Lord of Lords, you are King of Kings. And so we thank you that you're able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen. Listen, we're going to jump right into this. Miss Tammy Smith, I want you to introduce yourself first, and then I want you to talk about Devin, who he was. I want to give some humanity to Devin.
Okay, I'm Tammy Smith, and Devin is my grandson, but I raised him as my son. Mm-hmm. In my heart, he is my son. Mm-hmm. Devin was a star athlete. He was a kind person. He would go beyond and out of his way to help someone. And if he saw an elderly person walking, he'd grab him or her by the arm. And he was just helpful, and he was kind and considerate. He did have a lot of trouble in his childhood. He saw some bad things. He was made part of some bad things by family members who were supposed to be taking care of him. And it kind of opened a door for him to wonder about some of the darker sides of life that he was interested in. And he did come to me and say, I don't know why I'm attracted to some of this. I'm curious about some of this, but I'll never hurt anybody.
Right.
So I said, well, I know you won't, it just wasn't in him. Just when parents raise you a certain way, right. They instill in you things that they don't realize what they're showing and teaching. And Devin was very abused, mentally, physically.
So Devin was exposed to things that normal children should not be exposed to.
That's right. Yes.
And not any fault of his own.
Right.
Just environment that he was brought up in, and that's how you stepped in.
Yes.
Yeah, to try to give him a stable home.
Yes.
And but exposure is something. It doesn't mean that a child is bad, but when you've been exposed to certain things, you adapt to your environment. And so there was not necessarily a dark side to Devin, that he was exposed to some dark sides.
And I want to say that because I'm not hiding. I'm not trying to make Devin look good if Devin was wrong.
Right.
But
Devin
understand. Was just a mixed up kid. But he was like, you ever seen that thing online where they got the little boy, it's a joke thing, like a meme. Yeah. He's outside and he's talking about, I'll be back, bro. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. Then he walks in the door and he's like, hey, mommy, you know. Yes. That was Devin to a T.
Right.
Tough guy.
So he had, you know, there are people that you around and you have to play the role because, especially in Natchitoches, they got little groups, little so-called gangs and things like that. And it's all, let me tell you, all of this is a sense of belonging, to identify. Everybody wants to be able to identify with something or somebody. Yes. If it's the gang that gives me significance, makes me feel like I'm a part of belonging, and that's where we have to start to help our children understand that, listen, it's all right to belong to normal things.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And to them, the gangs may be normal. It's a family, you know. Yeah. It may be twisted, it may be distorted, but everybody wants to belong. And so Devin winds up with a group of kids, because the day that all of this went down, he was with his friends. Friends. So, when was this? What happened? Tell us what happened. September
the 24th
okay.
of 2024. I first called his grandfather. It was 4:30, and I said, "Have you heard from Devin? I need to find out where he's at," because I did try to keep some kind of rein on him, you know.
Right. But he's a teenager. How old is he at that?
He was 16.
16 years old.
And he said, "Well, I don't know. I talked to him a couple hours ago. He's going riding with so and so." So I called, and I never could get him. But about an hour later, 5:45 to be exact, I got a phone call.
Okay.
And it was a detective, and he said, "Do you know Devin Prudhomme?" And I said, "Yeah, that's my child. I know Devin." What has he done? That was my question. What has he done?
Okay.
And he said, No, I just need to talk to you. Where are you at? I said, "I'm at home." And he said, "Well, do you know what Devin was wearing?" I said, "Yes." What has he done? I'm adamant, never crossed my mind.
Had you ever had that line of questioning before concerning Devin?
And I thought, he's got in trouble now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so the detective came on to my house. I had called my mother, and my oldest son was there. And I said, "Mom, I don't know what they're going to come tell me, but Devin's in trouble. So come on over, because you need to sit with the girls, and I'm going to have to go see what's going on." Because I had Devin's 4 little sisters.
Oh, wow. So it's Devin, who's the oldest.
Yes.
And he has 4
sisters from 3 to 15.
Wow. Okay. All right. So when the policeman got there, or the sheriff deputy, he said,
well, I met him outside, and I said, what did Devin do? I was getting frustrated because,
Right.
come on, somebody.
Yeah.
And he said, there was an altercation at Payne Subdivision. Devin was injured. I said, okay, how bad? And he said he was shot multiple times. So I'm thinking, in my mind, it's like, okay, multiple times. Okay, maybe the arm, the leg. He's okay. He's just hurt. So my son, we flew to the hospital here, and there was about 100 people outside in the parking lot.
Right.
Teenagers.
Yes.
And I could hear them as I was going into the hospital. It's all a blur, it's a daze.
Right.
But I hear them all, several of them, hey, Mimi, how's Devin?
Because you know
because I know
most
all
of the
these kids,
okay.
And the policeman wouldn't let me talk to them. I said, okay. So I just went on in, and they said they had already sent Devin to Alexandria.
Okay.
And they had no more information. The deputy had no more information. So me and my son just went to Alexandria. And when we got there, a neurosurgeon met me in the hall.
Okay.
And this thing that just gets to me for some reason, you see on TV when a doctor says, ma'am, have a seat, like, because you're going to pass out or something.
Right.
He's telling me, well, why don't you sit down right here? And I'm like, well, why don't you tell me what's wrong,
Yeah.
And
anxiety,
said,
all kind of emotions.
It's almost like, I don't have time to sit down,
right.
I want to ask Devin who did this to him. That was my goal to get there.
Right.
And he said, Devin was shot. I said, how many times? And he said, 1. And that's when I started to kind of think, this is not as good as I'm thinking it is.
Right.
1 shot. And this is a neurosurgeon, and I can do 2 + 2.
Yes.
So I said, where? And he said, in the back of the head. I said, okay, can you do surgery? Can you do anything? He said, no, the swelling is too much to do surgery. So I went on in to Devin to see Devin. He was on life support. I could see where he had scuffled, had some gravel burn on his shoulder, blood between his fingers. It was just a horrible sight. And I picked up my phone to call my little girls and my mom and tell them I'm here, And the messages, everybody already knew it but me.
Right.
All of Facebook, Instagram was R.I.P. Devin, long live Devin. And
so they were already saying
they knew
that he was deceased.
And then the stories started coming. I've got about 100 versions of what happened. And I can place some of the pieces together, plus some of the things that I've already known.
Right. Let's back up just a little bit. Recapitulate just a little bit. So you said that he has blood under his fingernails, that he's been in an altercation, he's fought before the actual shooting?
I thought so, because he had a scratch here, and there was no, to my knowledge, he hadn't fell or anything. So I imagine, yes, that there was something else before
so they
that.
get in the car, and they're trying to get away. Okay. They come out to Payne Subdivision, right? And whoever's, they come to meet whoever it was.
Yeah. They were supposed to straighten something out. It was actually Devin's friend that was supposed to meet them, but Devin wanted to go.
So this is Devin's friend. They pick Devin up. They in the car.
They pick him up. I think there's 5 of them in there. I know that there were 2 females driving, because
so there's 2 females.
Deputy did tell me that.
Okay.
And he called me one time and he said, do you have a problem with me arresting these 2 females? I said, who are they? What did they do? What was their, I don't even know what everything's such a secret, you know.
Yeah.
I probably could
if there's-
answer a
if
lot of
there's-
questions to help them if they would ask me.
Right. So if
you know?
there's 2 females, there's about 5.
And you got 3 boys in the back.
Okay. What's the age range?
15 to 17 maybe. Kids.
So are they legally driving? Whoever the
I'm
driver
not even
is?
sure. I'm not even sure about that. I don't know anything about the girls except their first names.
Okay.
I don't know them.
So these girls know who all's in the car. They know who they're going to meet, even if they got ski masks on or
Yes.
whatever the case may be. They know who they're going to meet.
Yes.
Okay?
And that was the rumor for a long time. It was a setup.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a setup meant for Devin. I think it was meant for this other boy because he kept telling Devin,
So Devin
you don't
is
need to
just
go.
an innocent. And who says that he's not supposed to be there?
His
He's
friend
not supposed
told
to-
him, don't come
Don't
with
come.
us.
Okay.
Don't come. You don't need to mind with this. And he said, well, you know, that's my friend. I got his back. That's the, you know.
Yeah. So they get to Payne subdivision, and does it kick off right then, or?
Apparently, they drove into Payne subdivision, and some boys came out from behind houses and started to shoot at the car. And for some reason, the girl drove to a dead end and then turned around, and they were all coming up to the car. And from the person that told me this, they were like, I don't know why she didn't speed off. Why? It was almost like they hesitated. But, you know, like I say, too, it's rumor.
So they ultimately come down close to my house because I'm not there. But they come down close to my house because they picking up shellings.
Yes,
From there.
there was about 40
Yeah.
casings, yes.
So the question is, were these people that was out of their vehicles? Because the people who live in my area are very, very active in the community. They gonna say something if they see something and things
That's
like that.
what I've been concerned
Yeah,
about.
these people, you know, we've got some of the older folks from the Smiths to the Means to the Mitchells and myself and all over there. But this particular day, I don't think a lot of us was at home. And then when it happened, they wouldn't let us back into Payne subdivision until they completed their investigation of picking up shell casings and things like that, you know.
Right. Well, there was one neighbor you had that would have had a bullet come through and go into her daughter's room. I don't know which side of you or which direction from you, but
Yeah.
I know that happened.
Because this is on Michelle Drive that I know that it came on down. Because obviously it may have started on Keith Drive or the corner of Keith Drive. But some kind of way, when they make this turn, they come all the way down Michelle Drive. And I don't know if they get out of Michelle Drive. I mean, do they come out of Payne subdivision?
Yes. On that, I'm very unclear. I've read a police report that doesn't add up with other things that I've heard. And
Let's take a break, and when we come back, because I know this is a lot. When we come back, tell us what you know from the gathering of the police report. Not from he say, she say, and all of that.
Okay.
What did they gather? You know, And that's what we'll come back.
All right.
Yeah, so,
Are you tired of national news? Louisiana?
you know,
The real news
because
of Louisiana.
is there suspects? You know,
The type of car.
yeah,
It's
what type
strange.
of car?
It's very strange. I didn't say
Do they-
this because it didn't sound good to some people, you know, trigger warning. When I got to the Natchitoches Hospital, there was a car that Devin had been in, and I do know that. It was a Grand Am, older, maroon. It was parked haphazardly. It came in the wrong way. You could tell they were rushing, and halfway on the curb, and the blood was just drip, drip,
So
drip.
that's the car they were in that bring you?
That's what they're telling me, but the report says something totally different. So I asked the detective things, can I see the report? And he's like, no. So I went down and I got a copy. I bought a copy. A lot of redacted stuff in there. It doesn't make sense to me. There's a suspect that had a strange last name that I'd never heard of. And then I was at the emergency room one night and I heard them call him.
That name?
And I
Again?
looked,
That name?
yes. And he was a teenage boy, and I thought, I wonder. So I'm just
Were they
putting it.
from here or were they from somewhere
Yes.
else? Okay. All right. So we're back, and we're with Miss Tammy Smith. She is the mother of Devin Prudhomme, who about close to going on 2 years ago now was murdered in a shootout. By the way, I say shootout. Was the other car? Did they have guns?
I don't know. I'm assuming with 40 shell casings, there were several guns. I don't know the full details on that.
So so you're not sure whether the other and they should have been able by processing. Well, was there a car?
There was a car at the hospital when I got there. And I could tell by the way that the car was parked under the little awning at emergency. They came in there really fast. There was blood drips all the way into the emergency department. And
So somebody got out of that car who
somebody
had been shot, right?
Yes, or was definitely in trouble,
Right,
bleeding
right.
bad. And
Now let's to remember that an hour or 45 minutes before or after there was another shooting.
There was another shooting an hour after.
An hour after.
Now-
okay. But Devin was in this first shooting.
Yes.
So
yes.
there are people there that Devin, there's other folks who got shot too, right?
Yeah, after him, but this was
Did
before
they?
that person could have even probably been. I mean, I went straight there. I was
Okay.
there before that happened.
So were these people at the hospital too? The other ones who got shot?
Mm-mm. There was well, at that time it was just Devin and see the other boy that got shot. I think he was hiding out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
So
he
did
wasn't there.
Devin? Was he in the same car he got shot in?
Apparently, that was. I mean, I don't know why else that car would have been pulled up like that, and then the ambulance took Devin. So the car was just sitting there. And they were like, no, he had to go. His injuries were, we had to send him on to a hospital with more,
Right.
whatever it is, capabilities. But that card doesn't match what I read in the police report.
So did you know the friends that he was with, or any of the friends
I
he
know
was with?
them.
Okay.
I know them, and I probably know.
So do
Most
they
of
talk
those-
about the girls?
Well, I don't talk to them. Some of them, a couple of them's mother moved them to Shreveport to get them out of Natchitoches, and everybody's kind of just laid low and disappeared because there's so much going on.
Well, let me tell you this. You can't move too far when you got 4 other people who witnessed this.
The problem is nobody wants to tell the truth.
Well, the problem is
They don't want
with that,
somebody
I don't
else
care
coming
whether,
after them.
okay.
You know?
Yeah, I understand that, but you were involved in a situation that you went to Payne Subdivision. You knew who you were going to Payne Subdivision to get into it with. It turned out bad. I don't care. I don't know if there were other people shooting or whatever the case may be, but hot diggity dog, somebody needs to open your mouth and say something because you know something. It ain't no question about whether you know something or not. You know something.
No, the
If you were
problem.
girls that was driving folks out there, you played a part in it.
Yeah.
If you were the friends, you played a part in it. The other folks on the other side, you may have been the perpetrators and actually did it, but I don't have no friends who, if we got into a situation, you wouldn't open your mouth and say something. And if there's mothers and things concerned about the safety of your children, then you ought to be concerned about the fact that there's a young man who's dead right now. Because he chose to get in a car saying that this is my friend. Let me just tell you this, a lesson learned. Listen, all getting in cars with folks who may be into stuff that they got no business being into, this is what my parents used to tell me. Bullets don't have no eyes on them.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, you know, this young man lost his life and it wasn't even none of his fight. So the case can easily be solved by picking up the phone, calling and telling what you know. If the police turns around then and says, puts your name in it and all that. Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to have to testify at some point. And if you got folk, if it's a gang or whatever, I don't like saying what I'm about to say. And I might not better say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Listen, don't ever come at me because I got enough for everybody. Believe me. Even them that ain't born, I got enough for you. That's crazy. This is absolutely ludicrous, stupid to have. And listen, y'all better be glad I wasn't in Payne Subdivision at that particular time with shooting like that going on. Because we don't play that foolishness. Even the foolishness that went on of some months ago that we still ain't got no, when Bull got killed. Mm-hmm. We know what's going on with that too. And it's just a matter of time that something's going to be done about that too. Yeah. Because if there's blood, here's the other thing. Did they ever bring the car in to do any testing on any car?
He says the car is still in evidence, along with Devin's phone, his backpack, his clothes that I've all asked for all that back.
So his phone.
But everything's there.
His phone, which really may not say a lot on his phone, but those other people's phones should be able to say, we're going to meet up with so-and-so and so, this, that, and the other has happened, and we're going to squash this stuff. We're going to, we're going to have a,
I gotta tell you that if I could get a hold of that phone, and I've told them that, if I could get a hold of that phone, I'll figure it out because I knew. I made it my business to know Devin's friends. I made it my business to know the people that didn't like Devin.
Right.
Because I saw what was. I even went to the police and told him at 15, I said, Devin's interested in some things that I'm not sure about. I want to put him in a Christian boot camp.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I was told that Devin had the right to decide if he was going to do that or not. Okay, I got a kid playing with guns. I don't know about the drugs, but his mother's an addict and his father is. Therefore, it could happen, you know. But before they kill him, and I told the police, here's the people that's threatening to kill him. They're sending videos of my house with guns pointed at my door to Devin at school, saying, I'm finna kill your mama and your sisters, okay? And Devin's at school trying his best to get out of school and get home and take care of us. I mean, it's a big ordeal. And they knew all of that. And nothing gets done.
So now, who did you tell this? Who did you tell?
I told
the
it.
sheriff department or the police department?
The sheriff deputy who the next week was arrested for battery on his wife and kid. I can't remember his name. Jester. Okay.
Wow.
I asked him for help. I said, please, they're going to kill Devin.
So
well, it's up to him to go. He's got the rights. I said, well, then I'm about working on the law to change here. Then he was 15 at the time. Yeah, I was dealing with this for a while.
Had he ever been in the system? Had he ever done anything that He got scared at school when a cop grabbed him by the shoulder when he was going to the bathroom during class. And the cop turned him around and pushed him against the wall. And when he did, Devin, you'd have to know Devin, he's used to fighting for his life at times with other people, family members. And Devin went to push him back and he hit the wall beside Devin's head. And his knuckles got bloody. So they arrested Devin for assault on a police officer. I went up to the school. The man said, here's the assault. I said, well, it looks to me like you were the one hitting. And what, were you going to hit Devin in the head? Because you hit the wall beside him, you know. But that was the only trouble Devin had been in. But he was scared. That's enough trouble that he could still be put in a program. Whether it's anger management, especially on authority. Even if he hit and missed, you know, Devin still should have been probably maybe recommended for a redirection.
Yes, well, he was put in counseling.
Okay, so
which I've had him in counseling his whole life anyway.
Okay,
so it was no different.
so you do admit that Devin possibly had a gun on him that day too?
Yeah, it's possible.
Possible because let's just be clear. Was Devin in any gang activity himself? Because
he was very attracted to it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he kept telling me so he wouldn't do it. But yeah, I believe that that all of this was gang stuff. The group of boys over here don't like this one, and you know, I even told him one time, you know, y'all fighting for territory,
right?
That y'all don't even own,
right?
You know,
so
how silly.
could it be one of the reasons that this particular case is complicated is because there are other people who still alive that perhaps they're in this same group, and it's almost like that vigilante justice that we plan on retaliating.
It's always,
and it's over and over again. But it has to stop.
Yeah, it's got to stop. And the kids are, I mean, they can all say, well, I belong to this side or whatever. But when it comes down to it, they switch up so much that one day they're enemies, the next day they're friends. And then they're against this one. So these bullets flying freely,
right?
They may kill somebody that they would have been friends with the next day or was friends with yesterday.
And let me just say this to the parent. That's the problem we have in Payne subdivision. We don't know who the good guys and the bad guys are. We know you coming out there, and if you got guns and you shooting, guess what? We got protection out there. And somebody will mess around and get yourself hurt in our area because we don't play all that gunplay stuff and don't know who these young people are. Only thing we know is that listen, again, I'll say this again. This happened too close to my house where there was gun shelling. And if I'd have walked outside and saw folks hiding around the house and things, the only thing I would have said, hey, look, these folks is shooting at me.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't know. And that's
dangerous
we don't know.
for you to just be randomly shooting and nobody knows who you're really shooting at.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of things that should be. There's one car. There's some girls involved. There's some boys involved. Have they been interviewed? Anybody been interviewed?
They don't want to tell me nothing.
Who took over the case?
Mr. Sears did. Now he's a real nice guy. I'm not going to take that from him. But nobody wants to give me information, and it's the kind of information that I could probably add to and put pieces together. Because I'm telling you, I was involved in Devin's everything he did. I was involved. I wanted to know, you want to know what your kid's doing all the time.
Right.
But
and you could help connect the pieces.
I probably could.
Yeah.
If they printed out the text messages and let you read them.
Oh, so there were text messages?
Well, they got Devin's phone.
Okay.
And if I could just look in there, Devin talked about everything. His whole life is on that phone. I could figure it out.
Well, what about the phones of the other ones that was...
I don't know whose they've got. They won't. I don't know whose phones they've got. I don't even know why. Now, one of my friends who, she calls herself Devin's aunt. She's been close to him since he was born.
Mm-hmm.
Called over there to somebody in pain, and they said, well, I got the whole video.
So somebody had
why
video.
didn't we go around and get people's home security? None of that. We got none of that.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I got some pretty bad thoughts and ideas about it, but
well, let me
I
say
don't want
this.
to be too quick.
Let me say this. Just because people were involved if they were involved in gang activity, if they were the perpetrators and messed around and got killed or whatever, they still have a right to for there to be a proper investigation so that because somebody else could have gotten hurt behind this. So to bring everybody in to justice, I believe that the longer this plays on, the more unsettling it is.
It is, and
Let me ask you this. So, how often are you updated about what's going on? Do they know that you have legal custody?
Yes.
Because so they should be able to share with you where you all are at on this case. So let me ask you that. Where are you all at on the case? What do you?
Well, I've been updated once that there was an idea that somebody might have had some information. So I waited and waited. That was about 2 months ago, maybe. First call I got in over a year. And they said, well, we think we've got an update. I'll let you know. And I never heard anything back. So finally I called back and I said, well, how did that information, did you find out anything? And he said, well, No, it was just the same thing as some old information. And I'm like, well, what was it? And well, I can't discuss, we can't discuss nothing. That's what I'm getting really
Is that frustrating?
upset that we can't discuss anything. Why? Who better to discuss it with than me? Because I'm not going to damage evidence. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to do anything to hinder the investigation. And they say that's why they can't tell, because the family may... Now, I'm not going to do anything. I want to know who killed my son, because there's a chance that I might be letting that person in my home around my little girls. If you don't know, you don't know. Right. People walk up to me all the time, even on my porch. Hey, Mimi, how you doing? Some of them I know, and some of them I can't place. But the way these kids play, right? My son's killer may be coming to hug me. I don't want to hug him. It just gets...
So, they have not interviewed, to your knowledge, the persons who were supposed to be driving the car?
I don't know. He asked me that time. Do you mind if I arrest them? I thought that was strange, because is it up to me?
I really don't think so.
I don't know who they are, What did they do? What would you arrest them for? And he wouldn't even tell me that. So
I don't care.
Anybody that they could get to question, get them.
I think that if you were in the car with Devin, you need to be interviewed. If you were in the car with Devin, you need to be interviewed.
If I could just sit down and ask my questions and tell my information.
So I
think it would go far.
Have you been interviewed?
No, not really. Not really. As far as the first visit I got was, let's see, Devin went the 24th and he was pronounced dead on the 26th. When I came home, the evening of the 26th, the detective came over and he said, I'm going to just let you know.
The same detective that has the case now?
The one that's, yeah.
Okay.
He said, I want to let you know that there probably will not be an arrest. There were a lot of kids out there, and we don't know who did the shooting, which gun. We had a lot of shell casings. So it kind of started off like weird. Why? Don't tell me that. Let's just, can we try? Can we, are we trying?
With all the people that we say was out there?
Yeah. So there probably won't be...
To me...
He said we will make some arrests.
Yeah.
But there won't be probably a homicide. We probably won't know who actually fired the shot that killed Devin. And I just... It's like we went into this iffy. We went into this not thinking we were going to figure it out then. But I'm not satisfied with that.
Well,
so we'll be 2 years.
I'm speechless.
I do know this. If I could let any of these boys, any of these detectives, for all of us mothers, grandmothers, family who have lost our children to gun violence in Natchitoches, we're not numbers. We're not statistics. Oh, another little black boy got killed. I hear that so much. Well, my son was much more than a little black boy. And so were all these kids. I've known them. When Devin went to school with him, he would come home. Mimi, so-and-so got shot tonight. Okay, I was following it was so much of it that year.
The carnage.
Yeah, and it's one thing to say, oh, well, just another little boy on the street doing this, doing that. But When you go and stand by your son's bed, knowing medically he's not alive, and you sit in that room with him for 2 days, and you memorize every part of his body, every freckle, because you know they're going to fix him to take him, and you're not going to see him again. Okay, that's what I want somebody to think about. Think about the families. Think about the children who will never be the same. Devin's sisters, they'll never be the same. That is what I want these detectives and these people that are keeping secrets, and I want to know anything. I would take the smallest amount of information to know more about what happened to him. Did he say anything? How long before he was completely gone? You know, I want to know things.
So
If you think you know who did it, I want to know, and I'll look into it if nobody else will.
So did they say that these young men or whoever did it had masks on or something?
They all wear masks and hoodies. It don't matter if it's 100 degrees.
Yeah. But DNA don't lie though. That's the thing about that.
I don't know that we've had anything like that done. I cleaned the blood off of Devin's hands.
Yeah.
I mean, I assumed that it was okay because nobody had, I took care of him in the hospital.
Let's take a break, kind of regroup and compose it, and we'll be right back. I am feeling so numb right now.
Me too.
Because the more people that's out, the more people that can see, means I got more witnesses. And then I'm able to put this thing together. You know.
Was he the only one fighting? You said he has
I
scuff
don't
marks.
even know. See, I don't know. The boys that were there, I saw them one time, and that was at Devin's memorial service. And I didn't get to talk as much as I wanted. They left.
But did any of them say that they were there?
Yeah, and that's all they'll say. I didn't have time to work on them like I wanted to.
Well, if they were there, then you are a witness. You know?
And I've told the police that. They don't care. They just don't. We don't know where to find them. They don't have a stable address. And I can tell you, ask me. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm telling you my information. I know better than anybody about Devin's friends and who was with who, because Devin talks so much. He told me everything.
Who said we can't find them? Who said that?
I don't even remember which one of them it was. There was a couple of other detectives that I talked to briefly.
They said we can't find them?
You know, we can't locate them because they were living here in town, but like I said, they moved.
And we're back. There is truly, I say this all the time, the wheels of justice moves very slowly. But when they finally catch up, it crushes everything that's in its way. My prayer is that today, and we said it the last time, and the wheels of justice caught up. And there are people in jail, there are people who are about to go to jail. But on this case, and not only on this case, this is personal to me because it happened in Payne subdivision. Even the case with Bull and them. I'm praying that we get some justice for these kids. You know, this shouldn't have happened the way it happened. And listen, your son and his friends drove to Payne subdivision. Somebody should know who do they come to Payne subdivision? Is it somebody in Payne subdivision? You know? Or did they say we're going to meet up in Payne subdivision? Did they come from somewhere else and say we're going to meet up in Payne subdivision? But whatever the case may be, there should be some knowledge of, listen, as much cell phones and stuff as we have, you can't just get off the grid like that.
You're right.
Especially these kids. These kids all got smartphones. And to have a smartphone, you can't get off the grid. I can ping and things and know where you're at.
That's right.
You know?
This stuff shouldn't be hard to figure out anymore.
Right.
Not like it used to be, but they would solve the cases without anything hardly. Now there's so much help for them, so many ways of tracking people and knowing where somebody was. I mean, there's just so many ways.
And I don't know whether these girls or whatever got children or not, but it's hard for you not to tell the truth if you were out there and you know who they was coming to meet up with.
Yeah.
Have you talked to Sheriff Wright?
No.
You know, that may be a great
Maybe I
idea.
should.
Yeah, because listen, I know for a fact that our sheriff wants to see these cases solved. You know, anything that happens under my watch, I want to make sure that we're doing everything possible to bring these people to justice. I know that our DA wants to see these people brought to justice, but now it's hard to try a case when you don't have the evidence to prove that these are the people who did it.
Right.
But when you got, and I know from the end of Keep Your Eye all the way down to Michelle Drive, there are cameras. You know, so they able to see who came through there.
Yeah.
And things. You know.
It feels like it's not a priority because Devin had been in trouble, or
but
you know,
even at the fact that, listen, all of us have done things that we could have been in trouble, whether you cheated on your income tax or whatever the case may be. You crawled through the window of somebody that you weren't supposed to be meeting up or hooking up with, whatever the case may be. This is not about that. This is about somebody losing their life. But let me say this. I want to just shine a ray of light on this particular situation. Devin was a donor.
yes.
Talk a little bit about that, because we have a young man who was in Payne subdivision that would come by when Devin was a little boy, would come by and talk to us about that. I want to leave with
the man that,
but so that they will understand that I hate people to demonize and dehumanize children and say that they just was thugs and this, that, and the other. I hate that kind of stuff. I don't care whether they're black or white or brown, whatever they were. Listen, that doesn't mean that we would destroy a person because they didn't have all the stuff that you had.
right.
So talk about Devin in his death. What was he able to do?
Devin was, we had a man that had a lot of rent houses, and he had rented a house to my daughter when Devin was her only child. He was one. He didn't feel like Devin was being very well taken care of, so he would stop by several nights a week and bring Devin a little meal, a Happy Meal or whatever. And my daughter always talked about how much he had helped her during that time with rent and whatever. And it turned out Devin was able to help him. He needed a kidney transplant. And I had decided that the second day Devin was there at the hospital, you know, I was looking at him and thinking, this can't all be for nothing. It's another statistic. They're going to say, oh, just another boy in the streets, you know. So I said, okay, well, I can assist him to go out a hero, to not just be a waste, you know. So I met with the donation team, and we put this man in Natchitoches here on the list, and I called him and let him know. And he was just so happy. He was so sad to be so happy, because it's a very strange thing. You know, somebody's got to die so you can live. But we gave his kidney to him.
Wow.
And he is 67 years old.
Wow.
But he always says, I got a 16-year-old kidney. You know, he's got off of dialysis. He's been able to work again. He's just so happy. And he checks on us 5 or 6 times a year. He'll come by.
And all of this is because Devin died.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little girl. She was 15, 14 at the time. And she's a ballerina in Texas. And she needed a liver transplant. She couldn't even dance anymore.
And his liver.
So she got his liver. They got in touch with us, and just this past Saturday she came, and we met her and her family. And, you know, she credits Devin for everything. I had a lady write to me. She is a professional skier, and she got his ACL joint, so her knee's fixed.
Jesus.
She went back to skiing in February.
Let me just say this. Whoever meant for evil,
Yes,
God turned it around for good.
that's right. We don't know what Devin would have been facing. I will tell you this, if he was facing that gang lifestyle, or if he was, God only God knows what was the future. But if Devin would have ever even accidentally shot somebody or killed somebody, he wouldn't have been able to live with it. There's no telling what. And I'm just going to give that to God, because I don't know and understand why I had to lose Devin. But I know that it's not all for bad. I miss him.
Yeah.
He was funny. He made us laugh. I just got his letter the other day. He was about to go into professional sports. They've been watching him since 8th grade. I got the letter from Tulane that they were coming to meet him.
Yes.
And I had to call him and tell him, don't come. You know.
Devin is
He was on
not
his
with
way.
us.
Because Devin would have just turned 18. He would have graduated this year.
Though Devin is not with us physically, he is through the kidney, through the lung, through the ACL. He's here. And to law enforcement, to the ones who Devin got in the car with, he's not a monster. He was a human being. Please, let's solve this. And those who were guilty, if you were guilty of that, be a man, be a woman. Take your lick. Take your lick. Listen, if you all got into it and it just happened to go south, listen, just pay your debt to society so that you can live. Because that's not living knowing that I took somebody's life. Listen, if me and someone got into it and one of us lost our lives, I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna stand there and I'm gonna say what happened. What happened? You know, I'm not, listen, please, I beseech you by the mercies of God to please stand up for righteousness. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. I love you, and you can't do nothing about it.
KNOC, Natchitoches.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
Now I feel this the rest of the day, like in my body, because I just, you know,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well,
it's hard.
let me just say this. Perhaps we probably get a lot of calls with things probably today, but you need to let them know if you know something. Go to the detective. Tell them. Let them know
I'll tell
what
you,
you know.
is everything off that I can say something?